What's going on, guys? So this is going to be our Thursday through Sunday Draftkings GPP lineup. I actually just finished uploading my Sunday only GPP lineup, so feel free to check out that video as well. But we're going to jump right into it. Some of these players on this lineup are going to resemble the Sunday only, just because I like the matchups on some of these games. But we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. I'm not going to dig as deep into some of these players that are repeat from my other video. But we're definitely going to go with Matt Ryan at QB. As I stated in the other video, they're going against San Francisco. Must play for me. I think he's going to have a phenomenal game. It seems like San Francisco's defense just can't shut down the pass to save their life right now. And this is probably going to be the best offense they've gone up against in a while. And I just think they're firing on all cylinders. And defensively, San Francisco is just diminished. So I expect a big game from Matt Ryan. Next up at running back, we're going with Jeremy Hill. Oh, hold on. I hope if I'm in the right spot. So Jeremy Hill going up against Pittsburgh. Now, I think a lot of people are going to be leaning the other direction on the field. I will as well in many lineups with going with Le'Veon Bell. But given his price tag, and I'm usually okay with paying it, this week I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm actually going to fade that chalkier running back, and I'm going with the other side of the field with Jeremy Hill. He's getting the bulk of the carries right now. He's playing phenomenal football. I think he's proving that he deserves that starting role even in the coming years. 26 points against Cleveland. Obviously it's Cleveland, so you'd expect that. But against Philly, he did 23 attempts on 33 yards, but he did have a touchdown. He is utilizing the pass game as well, which in a PPR like DraftKings will add some additional value to him. Pittsburgh's defense much better than Cleveland, but he did pretty well against Baltimore, Philly, and Buffalo was okay, but definitely not great. So, I expect him to have a pretty good game. I think Cincinnati is going to have to rely on that run game more and more, and he's up for the challenge. So Hill is definitely playing good football. I really like him this week, and I think his ownership against Pittsburgh will be fairly low. Next running back I like this week is LaShawn McCoy. So I just mentioned the way that Jeremy Hill tore apart that Cleveland defense. I think LaShawn McCoy, especially utilizing that pass game as much as he is going to absolutely decimate that defense. Buffalo right now doesn't have a whole lot of weapons offensively in the pass game, so they really rely and lean heavily on LaShawn McCoy. Shady's always been a beast, even back when he played for Philly, and he's a beast now that he's playing for Buffalo. So 22, 29, and 32 points over the last few weeks. 2 of those weeks were over 100 yards, and 3 touchdowns over 3 weeks, 4 over 4 weeks, I guess. But 11 on the season so far. So at $8,900, he is definitely that upper echelon of running back price tags, but slightly below Le'Veon Bell, and I think will get you similar output. Now, of course, Le'Veon Bell every single week is probably going to be the leading scorer in DraftKings points, but you're going to pay a premium for that as well. So if you want to do it, I also like Le'Veon Bell a lot this week. If you can wiggle some players around, maybe bump up McCoy to Bell and drop down somewhere else, he might be a viable option as well. So running with LaShawn McCoy as our second back. Next, we're going to go with a little bit of value, and we're going with Anderson. So where are we at here? Robbie Anderson. So clearly the Jets like him. Bryce Petty is definitely throwing his way. I think regardless if Bryce Petty is under center or not in the future, I think they're really going to like Robbie Anderson moving forward. The guy's got speed. He's a good route runner. He has that big play potential, and they can utilize him in the rushing. As you saw last week against San Francisco, 2 for 12. I know that's not a lot, but that's still, 3.2 yards, that's still 6 yards average per carry. Now, of course, he's not a running back, so don't expect that, as you can tell previous weeks. But he has been putting up some good numbers, 17 points, 16 points. Had an off game against New England, but that defense is pretty good. And then 9 points. And at 4,200, if he gives us 2 to 3x his value, I think that's okay. We're saving some money with him, so we don't expect a whole lot. But he does have that, 16, 17 point ceiling, which I'm good with. You throw a touchdown in there, and I think he can definitely pay off dividends for you. Again, we're going to stack with Matt Ryan. We're going to go with Taylor Gabriel. Self-explanatory. If you watch my videos, you know I'm big on this guy. Julio or not, I think he's still going to be a viable option offensively week to week. He's got the big play potential. He has that touchdown upside. He's a great route runner. He's got good legs on him, and he's hard to cover. San Francisco really doesn't have anyone that can shut down two top-end wide receivers, let alone one, if you really think about it. So they're getting thrown against, and they're getting beat. So unfortunately, so yeah, Taylor Gabriel this week I really like at wide receiver. We're going to go with Tyreek Hill in this lineup. So if you remember my last Thursday through Sunday, I ran Tyreek Hill, and that paid off big for us. So we're going to run him again this week. The fact that he is a triple threat, they can utilize him in the run, they can utilize him on special teams, and offensively as a wide receiver. He has so many possible scoring upside. Last week, if you saw, let me pull up the game log real quick. Against Oakland, he had a touchdown. He also had a punt return for a touchdown. And the guy is getting a few carries a game on average. So I don't expect a whole lot necessarily on the run game. I know against Denver, he did have a rushing touchdown, a passing touchdown, and I think a kickoff return. So he did the triple there. That's very, very rare for anyone to do. But Tyreek Hill is extremely fast as a punt return guy. He's extremely quick running routes, and he's getting targeted a lot. I mean, with the 6 to 10 targets a game, he's catching almost everything thrown his way. He's got 7 touchdowns on the season, and clearly he is the number one wide receiver, aside from Travis Kelce as the tight end. He is their top target. So going against Tennessee this week, I expect a big game from him. I expect one every week, and he does not disappoint. So Tyreek Hill, his ownership's probably going to jump a little bit. I think more and more people are drawing attention to that. But I think Tyreek Hill this week is a must play. And considering that we have two guys that have top tier potential when it comes to scoring, sub $6,000, I think that's really good this week. So next, we're going to stick with Zach Ertz. Everything about Ertz in offense, I really like. They're using him. They're utilizing him in the end zone. They're utilizing him on short passing routes, deep routes, garbage time. They're throwing it to him off to the sidelines to control the clock. So he's going to get that. The PPR format really favors a guy like Zach Ertz. He may not get a touchdown week to week, but it doesn't matter. When you're getting 13, 15, 6, 11 targets a game, and you're catching a good portion of those, PPR alone is going to get you to value in most cases. So throw some yardage in there and a possible upside with a touchdown, and you're money with Zach Ertz. So next, we're going to run another dual tight end. I know I do this a lot, but it generally pays off for me. So Kyle Rudolph against Indy. So Rudolph's a big tight end. Minnesota really likes utilizing him. I mean, last few weeks looking at it, he has 16, 10, 15 points over the last 3 weeks. His price has jumped a few $100s over last week against Jacksonville, where he did hit 4x his value. So the 300-point jump and going against Indy's defense. I think Indy's a worse defense than Jacksonville personally. So I expect some big things from Kyle Rudolph this week. He's a reliable target. He's getting close to double digits every single week target-wise, and he's getting some decent yardage. So definitely a must-play this week for me. And on defense, we're actually going to take a little bit of a chance here, and we're going to go with Kansas City. So, oh yeah, they're under Chiefs, not Kansas City. So Chiefs against Tennessee. So this is a mixed emotion here because I am going to run some guys from Tennessee, so I'm not going to necessarily want Kansas City to go too crazy with this. But at $3,400, I'm hoping they'll hit about 11 to 12 points, maybe a pick six. I'm good with. I'm not going to run a whole lot of Tennessee's quarterback there, so I'm okay with the pick six. But I also want to make sure that they don't go too crazy and kill my other lineups as well. But Kansas City has been playing phenomenal football defensively. Double-digit fantasy points against Oakland, Atlanta, which is very impressive because considering they're one of the top offensive weapons or offensive teams right now in the league, and then 15 against Denver, which is fine. I don't think they'll necessarily tap that 15-point mark with Tennessee's offense, but I am hoping for 8 to 10 points, and that'll be a pretty solid outing for them. So we're locking in Kansas City. So running through it real quick, we've got Matt Ryan, Jeremy Hill, LaShawn McCoy, Robbie Anderson, Taylor Gabriel, Tyreek Hill, Zach Ertz, Rudolph, and the Chiefs defense. So that's my Thursday through Sunday lineup. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you like my videos, smash that like button, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you guys won last week. Leave it in the comment section. I always like to know if anyone made any money. I know I did, so I'm assuming anyone that took a chance on my lineups made some as well. And it's always fun to hear that. So appreciate your guys' support. Stay tuned. Next week, we'll have additional videos. I am going to be running NFL lineups all the way through playoffs and into the Super Bowl. So if you're going to be playing the entirety of the season, stay tuned to my channel. And then once football ends, I'll probably jump over and I'll be posting some other sports as well. I dabble in PGA, NBA, not so much baseball, but we are going to grow this channel and eventually grow the fan base and grow the lineups that I post here as well. So once again, appreciate the support, guys. Good luck this week. Let's smash it and let's make some money. Catch you guys later.